Hello and welcome to Beyond the Bio, the recap. If you didn't catch Monday's show, please go back and listen. The link to the show will be in the show notes. With these recap episodes, as always, I'm recapping on Monday's show and picking out an action point that you can take right now to implement in your own life. So this week I was chatting all about how you define your brand, knowing your values, and invisible PR. So we were talking about what Google says about you and how to do a Google search and what you should be looking out for, and thinking about how you might change the balance of information that Google is sharing. We spoke about invisible PR, which is what people say about you when you're not in the room, and we discussed a few famous examples and thought about the words that spring to mind when we think of those people. We also spent a bit of time going through values. So how do you identify your own values? And what does that mean in relation to what you stand for? So some really meaty stuff, some soul-searching stuff potentially for some of us. And maybe if you did your Google search, you find that you share your name with someone quite controversial. I would love to hear from anyone that got a fright when they did the Google search and share their name with some wacky people. That would be really fun. So please let me know. So this week's take action is, I'm going to have two. Is that a bit cheeky? I'm going to have two, but they're easy ones. So you can do both of these or you can do one of these. It is up to you. So the first one is going to be to do that Google search. So if you haven't done it already, please do it. It is to be done on an incognito browser so that it's throwing up in the search what anybody meeting you for the first time is going to find when they Google your name. There's no point in just doing that and doing nothing with it. So do that and go through each of the tabs and think about what it is that you want to take action on as a result of looking at what comes up on Google. So it might only just be a couple of things that you want to do. It might just be being more consistent. It might be thinking about the images that are on there and thinking that they're a bit dated. So going and either doing a photo shoot or just making sure that there are more current images that you are using each time you post an image of yourself online. The other thing that I think is going to be a really great action point this week is to do the values exercise that I spoke about. If anyone can't find a good one online, just drop me a message because we've got a cool values exercise that we can share with you. And in fact, it will be in my next book, which is coming out very soon, which I will be talking about on a future episode. But for now, have a look online, see if you can find one. If not, hit me up. But do the values exercise, get thinking about what it is that you want to prioritize, because this is such a useful and interesting exercise to do. People often talk about not wanting to promote themselves, feeling uncomfortable, having imposter syndrome. But actually, if you're starting out from a point of having to find what your values are, then any activity that you take to raise your profile is going to be in line with those values and feel more genuine and authentic. Hate that word, but it's going to feel more real and relevant to you, and you're going to be more comfortable with taking that kind of action as a result. So there we have it, a Google audit, a Google search, and then some follow-up activities from that, and then also the values exercise. I hope that the topic this week has been interesting and useful. As always, I would love to know how you get on. And as always, if you haven't already, I would massively appreciate it if you rate, like, and subscribe to the show. See you next week.